Well, hello, good Sunday morning. I am heading off to pick up my groceries, and I thought I would go on and chit chat with you guys while I drive to Walmart. We have been so busy boiling syrup. I say me, it's not me, it's my husband and a really good friend of ours, and my father-in-law is over and he's kind of helping. So the three of them have been boiling sap since Thursday morning, and it's a lot of work. I think that we have made, I don't know how much they made this last 3 days, maybe 2 gallons, maybe. It was funny last night. He goes, well, here's another gallon. And I said, how much have we made so far? And he's like, 3. I'm like, 3 gallons since we started this season? Like, yeah, it takes so much sap and so much work, especially if you're a small time grower or harvester or maple producer. I guess I'm not even sure what the terminology is. But if you're small time like us, which I will try and remember at the end of this video, I'll put a little video of them, how we have our sap boiling and set up. It's just in our garage. We got this 3 foot by 3 foot pan, stainless steel pan. We use propane, and I know that propane's like a lot more expensive than using wood, but we use wood to heat our house, and my husband really didn't want to spend the time and energy and backache to create any more logs for the house than what we need for heating. So he really wanted to do propane. Plus, sometimes at night, like last night, they were tired and they just decided at 10 o'clock just to turn it off so they could go to bed and get a good night's rest to come up and finish it up today. So with wood, you can't do that because your wood's going to continue to keep everything warm until your wood burns out. So yeah, so that's what we've been up to. And of course, that is not really the reselling front, and this channel is all about reselling, but I just kind of wanted to give you an update of what's kind of been taking my time the last few days. Been really busy with just having company here and visitors over and people watching the maple process and just hanging out and all that kind of stuff. It's just very busy, chaotic, but a good chaotic, because it's just, I don't know, it's exciting and it's for a short time. So it does start to get on my stress level, though, I will say, because my house has been kind of overtaken by everything, and it's just, you know, people bring in mud and it's just too time consuming to take your shoes off every time you walk in. So I kept saying, okay, I just got to remember to wear my shoes in the house, because like walking through the kitchen, maple, the sap drops, and when my husband's filling the jars, he dribbles it and everything is just sticky. And I kept stepping in it yesterday and my socks were getting sticky. I had to keep changing my socks, and then I'm like, forget it, just put on your shoes, and you just have to wear your shoes while this is going on. I don't like wearing shoes in the house. It's so hard for me to remember to put them on, and then when I have them on, I just feel like I just want to kick them off. So I'm running to the grocery store to pick up stuff for fried bread dough, because my mother-in-law makes the best fried bread dough. I think they also call them elephant ears, and I think it might even be called Indian bread. I'm not really sure, but you know, you get it at the fair. Well, she makes it, and it's so good. It was funny because I'm like, all right, what do you need? And she's like, well, I need flour. And I said, oh, I got flour. She goes, well, it has to be bread flour. And I said, oh, I just have all purpose. So I had to get some bread flour. And she goes, I need some Crisco. And the friends that are at the house, they're like, oh, I have some Crisco. And she's like, oh, no, not the shortening. I need the Crisco oil. And I said, what is it? The Crisco oil, vegetable oil? Because I said, I have vegetable oil. She's like, no, it has to be Crisco. So we all laughed, and I was like, okay, I'll order you some Crisco. And then some yeast. And I'm like, okay, do you have a specific yeast? Because I have a ton of packages of yeast that I purchased when yeast was, I guess it was selling really good on eBay, and I kind of got on the bandwagon a little late, and I still have quite a few packets of yeast sitting around, and I don't make bread, I don't use it. So I have it, and I said, well, I got yeast. So I pulled it out, and I said, is this good enough? Because she's so particular with her brands, like King Arthur bread flour, Crisco oil. And she's like, oh, I've never used that one. It's a white packet. It's a Pioneer, I think it's called. It's not Flushman's, it's a different brand. And I said, well, can you give it a try? Because I got a lot of it. I really don't want to buy yeast when I have so much yeast on hand. So hopefully I could show her that using some other brands and generic stuff is sometimes just as good. So let's hope that it works out today. So we have a family coming over for breakfast. Well, I guess we're gonna have it for lunch today, and we'll be having fried bread dough with some venison sausage, elk hot dogs. I think it's what he said he had, elk or moose hot dogs. And I had mentioned we'd have some bacon, but I forgot to order bacon. I really don't want to run into the store, so we're gonna not have bacon. So hopefully they're all okay with sausage and hot dogs, I guess, which is kind of weird. Who's gonna want a hot dog with their fried bread dough? But I mean, fried bread dough, you pour syrup on it, or confectioner's sugar and cinnamon. Like, everybody does it a little different. Some people just put butter on it. So it doesn't really have to be a breakfast food. Really, it's mostly a snack item that people would have at the fair. You wouldn't even have it as your meal. It would just be kind of like, oh, I gotta have it. It's kind of like a candy apple. You don't really have it as your meal. It's kind of a snack. So let's see, what else I got going on? So this weekend I worked on some printables when there was a little bit of quiet time. I did grab my laptop and I worked on some printables. And anybody who's been watching my channel the last week, I've been talking a lot about making some shifts into some different realms of income. Amazon is just kind of slowing down for me quite a bit, and I have decided I really don't want to pivot into wholesale or grocery. So until things go back to the realm of what I like to do, I'm going to do something something else that's fun. And right now that is going to be these printables. And I used to do print-on-demand t-shirts and mugs and all that kind of stuff. Back when Amazon first introduced it, I got on their waiting list because it was a long wait. And I got accepted like really pretty quickly, like within 2 weeks. And everybody was surprised because some people had been waiting like 6 months. And I did that for a very short amount of time, but I just wasn't very creative. I didn't have the financial resources to put into paying for programs or paying into like buying a VA to create stuff or anything like that. I just kind of was stuck and wasn't really sure what to do. And I had a full-time job at the time. I just didn't really have time to add it on. So even though I got accepted into it, I ended up letting that die down. And then I think it was probably a year later, I said, you know, I think I really want to get back into the print-on-demand again. So I ended up doing the Etsy print-on-demand through Printful. And I actually sold some t-shirts. But I had another Etsy shop at the time and I had separated them. It became so much work. And again, I was still working full-time. It became a lot of work to remember to log into that account, to check to see if I had an order so I could make sure I submitted it to Printful and stuff. There was just something went wrong after some orders, and then I said, you know what? It's really too much on my plate right now compared to everything else I was doing. I was doing eBay and all that, and I only had a few orders here and there. I just wasn't giving it the time and effort again, and I said, I'm gonna back off from that. And I let that go. And it's funny because I actually logged in on Etsy the other day. I was logging in, and when you click on your username, it will tell you, like on my computer, it can pre-populate it with saved passwords and stuff. And one of them I clicked on just to see, I'm like, what does this go to? And it was my old account for the Printful stuff, and my items are still there as inactive. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I should look at getting this going again and coming up with stuff. As you know, or if you've been watching me, I have a Cricut. I bought myself a Cricut last year on Black Friday. I've been playing around with making stuff with the Cricut, which I've really enjoyed. And that kind of opened up the whole, being in the Cricut groups to t-shirts and stuff that people are making. I don't want to make t-shirts. I don't want to be in the business of making t-shirts, because I feel like when you make them with iron-on, the quality is good for a little while, but they don't last very long. So it's really going to take the hot transfer press. It's going to take the just a really good quality equipment to make it where I would want to be commercially selling it. I don't want that investment. But I was thinking, okay, well, I can come up with these ideas. Why don't I just create them, since I'm now paying for some memberships to be able to do my printables. Now that I got those memberships to those different software design things, why don't I utilize the whole service available and do the print on demand and do that? So I'm going to take a look at that and creating some designs that I can put up and then just probably use Printful again. So I do need to check into Printful, like what are their, how's it going? What's the feedback from people who've been using it now for like 3 years? Are there any issues? Is there a new vendor that's come on the market that's even better than Printful that is associated with Etsy? And I think I'm going to take a look at that and then find out, maybe I should look back into doing the print on demand on Amazon and then just put the same graphics on Amazon that I would put on Printful for Etsy. So I'm going to look into that. If it's quiet today, which I don't know, I think I'll have a house full and I think it'll be really busy. And the little girls that come over, I say little, they're like 7 and 9, I think, which is little, but not as little as when they were first born. But they want to do some crafts with me today. So I've been trying to kind of come up with what to do for crafts with them that doesn't use too much of my supplies that I'm using for business. So I'm trying to come up with that idea. Because I know when I went to bed yesterday, they were still at the house. I didn't tell you guys, I got my first COVID shot yesterday. Which I'll tell you about that in a second. But when I went to bed, because I wasn't feeling very good at, I think it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock, they were still at the house. And the littlest one, the 7-year-old, says to me, "Good night, I hope you're feeling better tomorrow so we can do some arts and crafts." They love to do arts and crafts with me. I love spending time with them, and I really like when I have something to do with them when I'm there. Yesterday they were really helpful, and they helped me clean my dining room table. It was covered with some stuff I was working on for business, and they helped me with that. And then they helped me bring a ton of stuff downstairs to my office, which was great. I didn't have to carry any of it down. And then they came back up and they're like, "Anything out?" And I said, "How would you like to clean my car?" So I gave them a roll of paper towels and a can spray of this glass cleaner that I like. And I said, "Go at it. Clean my windows, clean the dashboard, like clean the seat." I have leather seats. I'm like, literally clean whatever you want, spray it. One of them was cleaning the outside windows and they were loving it. They took out my floor mats, and I have a utility bathroom in our garage, and it has one of those big sinks. So I said, "Go and you can spray them," because I live in the North Country. It's still cold and icy in here. I mean, it's been in the 50s, but you can't put your hose back on right now because the chances that it would refreeze is very, very, very likely when the sun goes down. So they brought it into the sink and they were spraying that for me to get those all cleaned out. And so they're just so helpful. So I really would like to have some fun with them today. So I got to come up with something. All right, so my COVID shot. So on Friday, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday I was at Walmart. I went in to grab some groceries. I did a grocery pickup, but then I also went in to grab a few things. And no, I didn't do a grocery pickup. I did a grocery pickup on Wednesday morning, and here I am on Sunday doing another one. But today is just soda. It's like beverages and the stuff to make the fried bread dough. I hit like the 35 minimum, and that was pretty much all I had in my cart. So I was in Walmart, and I was scanning some stuff to buy for reselling. And my daughter texted me, and she goes, "Have you signed up to get your COVID shot yet?" And I said, "No, because I'm too young and I'm too healthy." Because right now the criteria is you have to be over 65, you have to have a serious illness like cancer, and Alzheimer's, autoimmune diseases. They had something like that was on the list. And then, or you had to be like an essential frontline worker. Then you could, just go and show proof of where you work and you could get the shot. Well, I'm not any of that. So I said, "No, I don't even qualify yet." And she goes, "Well, what's your BMI?" because I'm pretty sure that anybody who's considered obese can get the shot. And I'm like, I didn't know that. And she lives in a different state, so I thought, well, it's probably the rule in your state, but let me just double check. So I logged on while I was at Walmart, and lo and behold, obesity is a criteria to get the vaccine. So I immediately clicked through, because she will not come and visit us. She hasn't been over in a year until we get the vaccine. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get the vaccine. I want to see my kids again. That's more important to me than the political hoopla, conspiracy theories that are out there about the vaccine. So for me, I said, I'm going to get the vaccine when I am able to get it. So I signed up, and I was able to get it the next day, which was yesterday. I got my first shot. I got the Pfizer vaccine, and I go back on April 10th for my second shot. I'm really excited. My husband, he did not want to get it. And even after I made my appointment, he's like, no. And I'm like, our daughter's not going to come over until we both are vaccinated. You really just need to put your political stuff aside and think about what's the most important. He was in the military. He got vaccinated for everything you could think of all the time. So he knows what vaccines have done to him or not done to him. Really, in the long run, not done to him. But done to him is he kept his job. And so he ended up saying, okay, go ahead, but why don't you make it in a week, so we're not getting it at the same time. That way, if I get sick or anything like that, he's available to help me if I get sick, and then I'm available for him if he gets sick. So I said, that sounds great. And pull into my parking spot here. Yeah, so he signed up for next Friday. He's going to get his shot. So I'm pretty excited about that he'll get his shot. All right, I'm going to pause you guys for a minute because I got to log in and say that I'm here at Walmart. I'm talking to you guys, and I look over, and I see a black screen on my phone. I don't know when I lost you, but it looks like I never hit the play button or the record button. I don't know when I was last talking to you guys and what I was saying. Man, I don't want to have to repeat myself, but I don't know if I left something off and I didn't finish it. So I don't even know where I should start. I'm driving, so I don't really want to stop and look where I was recording last to see. So let me do this. I'm going to give you a really, really, really quick overview of what I just said. And if I repeat myself, I'm really sorry. But I got a COVID shot. My husband's going next week. I had a little soreness last night. I thought I was going to come down with flu-like symptoms. Woke up this morning feeling great. Kids are coming over. Going to play with some kids today. Arts and crafts. That's it. That's pretty much what I just said. Oh, technology. It's great when it works great, but not so great when it doesn't work great, huh? Oh my gosh. It'd be really funny when I watch it back to see what it looks like. All right, so tomorrow I'm going to be going live on my show. Maybe I lost you when I hit that really big bump and for some reason it hit it. I don't know. So I'm going to go live packaging my orders, and my sales have been really slow. I kicked myself because as I was talking to you a little bit ago, I said, why didn't I set up a sale this weekend? I should have set up at least even a 10% off, because I think that really would have helped maybe turn some potential buyers into buyers. And people got money to spend right now. I noticed it at Walmart when I was there on Friday. It was so crowded. It was so crowded. And I thought, it is because of the stimulus. People are at Walmart spending their stimulus money. There were TVs. Right? We were laughing last time people bought TVs and stuff with their stimulus. It's just frustrating because the stimulus is really, in my opinion, the stimulus should be there to help people who need it because they have had issues, right? They had lost their job or took a pay cut, or now they got additional expenses because their children are at home learning, so now they gotta pay for different childcare for that, or maybe they're home work and had to stop their job because of being home with their kids, whatever it is. So for me, it's the money should go to those types of people, not not the people who are going to go take it and go buy a TV. Right? I mean, that's not, in my opinion, my tax dollars should not have gone towards somebody buying a TV. And I got a tax rebate, and I had a great sales, not a rebate, but I got the stimulus, and my sales were really good last year. Thankfully for me, I have not filed my sales yet, my taxes. I think when I do my taxes, I could have possibly been bumped out of even getting a stimulus this time around. But because of my 2019 taxes, I still qualified. So I'm hoping that these people that are getting the money who really need it, spend it on what they really need it on, not frivolous things like this is a free money to go buy something like a TV on. Buy something, pay your bills, put money aside, start your emergency fund, put that $2,000 aside. If you want to take a little bit of it and spend it on something, do that. But if you're a couple, take $2,000, put it in a savings account and let it sit there. You never know when something might happen. You might need to, I don't know, buy a furnace for your house, or you get a leak in your roof like we had, and we had to pay for a roofer to come and fix it. That took our stimulus because that cost, I think it was $2,800 to fix that. And so that's what our stimulus went towards. But hopefully people are saving it. All right, so Monday I'll be live packaging my orders, and then on, I don't know, probably Wednesday morning I'll probably go live packaging orders. I probably won't do it Tuesday because my mom and I think are going to hit the road and do some shopping. She wants to hit some thrift stores looking for some plates to make a tiered plate thingy. So we're probably going to head off and do that and hit some craft stores to buy some supplies for her. And I told her I'd do that on probably Tuesday. Wednesday I got to get my hair cut, and then I'm going to go to her house and do her taxes for her. So I'll probably go live on Wednesday morning before I have to head out for my haircut, because that appointment's at 11. And then I don't know about Thursday and Friday. Who knows what I'm doing. I really need to take a day, and it'll probably be Thursday. I need to take a day, get some photos taken, get some things listed, because I got quite a bit of stuff that I need to take photos of. I need to start getting it listed. Some of it's for my new store, and some of it's just, I haven't listed in my own eBay store in a while because I've been kind of spending the time in my new eBay and my new Etsy store to put stuff in there. So my big eBay store has kind of been neglected for the last week. That could be why my sales are low. Most likely that is why, because I have not been putting up any items. And I do have pictures and I do have things ready to list, but I have had company, so I have not had a chance to do anything. I really should have taken the time and done some drafts, and that way I could have just pulled up my phone, and they wouldn't have even realized what I was doing, but pull up my phone and just submit the drafts. I should have done that. I gotta think better ahead on that type of stuff. This month of March was supposed to be this listing kind of challenge in my own mind of getting stuff listed. I wanted to do at least 5 listings every day. I started off really good, but was doing like 20 listings every day. I find it so hard when I have photos and a listing completed not to hit submit, because I'm like, if it's not submitted, it's not going to sell. If it's not listed, it won't sell. So I got to list it. But doing so makes it so there's days when I just am busy and I don't get a chance to list. I really need to train myself that it's better for me to keep showing that activity on my eBay account than to get something listed 2 days sooner type of thing. So I've got to get that into my brain. But I really wanted to take March and test that, and if that's true. But I just got sidetracked, and just didn't end up happening. And I think it was only day 4 or 5 into it I didn't list that day, and I'm like, come on, you're supposed to list every day, and you missed a day. And I was putting things into drafts then and submitting them the next day. It's just ended up, just things got busy, life got busy, reselling got busy in my life, and it took me away from it. So that's what I pretty much have on my agenda this weekend, or this coming week. I kind of like to sit down. I haven't done my planner in 2 weeks. I'm kicking myself, and I think that's why right now I'm kind of feeling a little stressed, disorganized, and I know it's because I've just gotten out of some of my routines, and it's hard. It's hard. How do you guys, when you have things that are thrown at you, like company coming to visit, which I love when company comes to visit, love it, but it does mess me up business-wise. So how do you guys just say and kind of give yourself permission to say, hey, it's okay, you didn't do your business for 4 days, a week, 2 days, however long people are there visiting? Is it okay for you to say, okay, it's okay, I'm gonna give myself permission? Or do you just, which I think I need to do, is come up with a plan of action of, okay, people are coming, I need to make sure that a couple of days prior to that, I'm planning for when they're going to be here to make sure that I got listings to go. I just got to do whatever. And I think some of it is just being really clear with them that, hey, I'm so glad you guys are visiting, but I still have a business to run, which they're great. Like, I'll run down and package my orders, which I did this week. You guys were on with me when on Thursday and Friday I went live and I was packaging orders, and my company was upstairs, but they were getting ready, having their breakfast, drinking their coffee. So I didn't mind if I stepped away for an hour to package. But it's just, I don't want to be sitting at a computer in the middle of the day or something like that. Maybe if it's just like when I go to bed at night, I could just sit there and list 5 on my phone. If I have the pictures ready and prepared, I think that's what I just need to do. So I need to come up with a plan of what do you do when your company is coming and you need to keep your business going. What are the steps that you take? So I'd like to know from all of you, what do you do? Do you continue to just go business as usual when you have company? Do you just take the time off and give yourself that excuse just to take your time off? Or do you do, like what I was saying, is just prepare ahead of time, get your stuff listed, and have your company and just take a few minutes to list stuff pretty quickly? Or you can even pay. You can pay eBay and have eBay list it for you. I don't like to pay for things that I don't want to pay for. Or is there another option I'm not even thinking of? Because that could be something that could be good, is maybe think of something else. What else is out there that I could think of? I mean, I do use Venmo. I could even list it in Venmo and then just go in and be able to click a button for Venmo. I don't know. We'll have to figure out what might work in the future. But now that weather is getting warmer, a lot of my family is from Vermont and they haven't been able to visit, but now that people are getting the vaccine, they're able to visit. I just feel like I'm going to be getting more and more company, which again, I love when I get company. I love visitors. I just need to come up with something for my business so I can have, that's the thing with being an entrepreneur and a small business owner, is you have to come up with plans because your business still needs to run even when things are thrown at you. And for me, it could be, last year, I think we had visitors every weekend type of thing for, I don't know, like 6-7 weeks in a row. There was somebody visiting. It was like one right after another. So I think that for me, I just need to come up with something to have, because I know I'm going to have the visitors, especially when we open our pool, which I love when people come and swim in the pool, because it keeps the pool, honestly, it keeps the pool cleaner when people are using it, because it gets the water moving around. So I just know it's going to be busy this summer, and I just want to make sure I get myself set up for success, so my store on eBay stays active, and all those kind of things. Well, I'm almost home. I'm going to show you guys our maple syrup business and let you kind of see what we're doing, and I'll show you some of the maple syrup we've made so far. I know a few of you had asked about buying some, and we are still kind of trying to figure out what we're going to do, what we're going to sell, how much we're going to even price it at, because originally we weren't planning on this as a business, but I did tell my husband it would be really nice if we could sell enough to at least make our expenses back, because we paid $300 for that pan. So if we could make at least $300 this year, that would pay for the pan. And then, you know, everything, I mean, we've had more than that. I probably have spent about $1,000 on stuff so far, but that would just at least help with that one thing. So I don't know. I'll let you guys know if you're interested in some pure New York maple syrup, and we'll figure it out. I'm thinking, you know, just my cost of the bottle and maybe a couple extra dollars added on, and then the cost of shipping. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I figure it out, what it's going to be, and you can tell me if you are interested in some. All right, thanks so much for watching, and next you'll see my maple syrup. Alrighty, see you later, guys. Bye. All right, this is our evaporator system for our maple syrup. Over here is the sap that we collect, and the sap comes into a warming tray that's right up there, and then that slowly dribbles, which you can see there's a little dribble that slowly puts the warm sap into there, and that's maple syrup. Not quite syrup yet, but it's gotten that caramel color. And so this is our homemade contraption. That into that. And then we filter it. It gets filtered 3 times. This is double filter, triple filtered down into there. That gets brought into the house, and the final step is boiled down in the house. Let me show you some bottles of it so you can see what it looks like after we bottle it.